First, let us see, before starting this model, let us introduce, like already you might have studied the diode. Like the very simple diode, that is nothing but the PN junction diode. With the help of like the PN junction diode is made up of two simple piece of semiconductor material. So that might have formed the PN junction diode, and you might have studied the properties and characteristics of the diode also. Now, the PN junction diode is normally a two terminal device. But now what we'll do, we'll go for the next, like two individual, the PN junction diode back to back. If you connect, that will give you like the series of PN junction diode. Like when you connect two PN junction diode, see, I'm showing here this diagram, see this here, two PN junction. This is the one PN junction diode. This is the one junction diode. This is the one more diode. Like when you connect in series, so it will common terminal will be, this is nothing but a cathode actually. So it will form, this is will be your P, the N is common, then this will be P. So this will form as a three terminal device. The same time two junction will have. See here, this is the one junction. So then this is the one more junction, junction one and the junction two. Now from this only we can form a three terminal device. The name is nothing but BJT, because it is a BJT is shortly called, it's a bipolar junction transistor. Next, in this, the three terminals will, once it is formed, then we can say the transistor, the BJT is a active devices that will be made from the different semiconductor materials. So it may act as insulator or conductor by applying the applications of some small signal voltage. Now the transistor, this BJT transistor, its ability to change between some two states. That is, one is like the transistor will be act as a switch. The second thing is the transistor will be act as a amplifier also. But we want to know when this transistor will be act as a switch, the same time when this transistor will be act as a amplifier also. Now the bipolar transistor will ability to operate with the three different regions. So normally you studied in PU, normally the PNP transistor and the NPN transistors. So here this will be operating in three regions, like three regions. So the three regions are, one is active region, second is saturation region, third one is cutoff region. The active region, in the sense, the transistor will be the operates as an amplifier. Normally, as I said, the transistor will be act as an amplifier. But when the transistor will be act as amplifier, when the transistor is working on active region, then the transistor will be operate as an amplifier. So for that condition, we can say like this is the expression to get like IC is equal to beta into IB, where the beta is nothing but a gain factor, the feedback gain factor, the IC is nothing but a collector current, IB is a base current. Normally, the previously we were studied JFET MOSFET we studied. Here we are studying the BJT. What is the very basic difference between BJT and the MOSFET or JFET we can say? Normally, the JFET is a voltage control voltage source, because the input like you have the gate terminal, the gate will apply the voltage like gate voltage, the output will get the voltage between VDS, between the drain and source. Same here, the BJT will be act as a current control source. So that is why here the output will be a collector current, the input is a base current. So IC is equal to beta into IB. This is the relation, or I can say the gain factor, the beta will be equal to IC by IB. That is beta. From this I can say beta is equal to IB, that is base current, sorry, not base current, collector current by base current. That is nothing but the relation. Now, when the transistor will be like it will when go for saturation region, if the transistor is fully on, then the operating as a switch and at the same time it will be saturated also. IC is equal to ISAT, we can call. Next, cutoff region. Cutoff region means simple, we can say when the transistor is fully off condition. So then we can say there is no output current, that is IC, there is no collector current, collector current will be equal to 0, then we can say the device is in cutoff mode. So these are the three important different region the transistors will work. Now we can say sometimes the bipolar transistors or current is a regulating device that will control the amount of current. You can see here, that is what, as I said, it will control the amount of current flowing through them from a emitter to collector terminal. Normally the symbol will be like this. See example, I will show the symbol of PNG junction. See, this is the BJT symbol. So here, this is nothing but your base, this is collector, this is emitter. This arrow indicates whether it's a NPN or PNP transistor. If the arrow is like this, then this will be a NPN transistor. Then one more transistor also is a configuration, that is PNP configuration, that is B. This is collector, this is emitter, then arrow mark will be indicated here. So this will be a PNP. Now when you're going to work, very, very important, the base emitter, this one, the base emitter must be forward bias. See, so now normally how will work in the sense, like you need to apply a small current, like you need to apply some in bias voltage over there, like the amount of current flowing through them from the emitter to collector. This is the current flow. Like this only the current will flow from collector to emitters, proportion to the amount of biasing voltage applied to the base terminal. That is nothing but what, where you will apply that. So you have to apply here. See, I'll say here in this one, you can see this. The diagram is given here. This is the symbol of it is the symbol of NPN transistor, because see complete, sorry, this is the PNP transistor, this is the NPN transistors. See here, this is nothing but the voltage across the collector to emitter. This is the voltage across the emitter to base. Then this is the voltage across the collector to base. Same the way even here also. So now we need to apply bias voltage across the base emitter. Then the small amount of current will flow. Based on that, the current will flow from the collector to emitter. So at that time, that will be like act as a current control switch. Sometimes there will be some small current flowing into base current, base terminal here. It will controls the much larger current forming the basis of transistor action. Normally, just you apply only small current only will apply here. In my collector, I'll get a large amount of current will get normally. So now the principal operation of both the transistor like a PNP as well as the NPN transistor board exactly same only, but only the difference is the biasing actually, like the polarity of power supply for each type. That is only the difference between PNP and the NPN. So simple, we can say the NPN transistor, we can say it is like the magnetic arrays are like electrons, the magnetic arrays are holes. Here, the PNP transistor, the magnetic arrays are holes and the magnetic arrays are electrons normally. Now this is the construction machine. So these are the things that we need to know something about the very basic about that. Now here, as I said, in this arrow marks, like what is the arrow mark indicates? Here they given, this indicates the conventional current flow between the base terminal and the emitter terminal. This arrow marks indicates. Now the direction of the arrows always points from the positive p-type region to negative n-type region for both transistor type, exactly same as the standard diode symbol. Now with the help of this BJT, what are the applications will be there? The first thing is, as I said, the BJT application, the BJT can be act as a amplifier. See, that is a transistor can be act as a amplifier. So as you know, what is meant by amplifier? The amplifier is nothing but that will the output like it will the weak signal, the input will be weak signal, the output will be strong signal. It will strengthen the weak signal. That is what we can say. It's an amplifier, because previously we studied operational amplifier. I hope you remember the operational amplifier is nothing but So you got some two different types of configuration, that is inverting configuration and then non-inverting configuration. There we discussed when you apply some small amount of voltage, then there is a relation was there in the operation amplifier. I hope you remember, that is V out is equal to the gain, that is AV into V in. The AV is nothing but the voltage gain. I hope you remember this. AV into V in, where AV is a voltage gain, that is a gain factor. So that will be multiplied. So very small voltage. See example, it will be like a millivolt or microvolt. Normally the gain will be very, very high. So automatically what will happen? Output voltage also will be very high. So here the amplification is a process of linearly increasing the amplitude of a electrical signal, and is one of the major properties of a transistor normally. So now when the transistor is biased in active region, because already we said we can work on some three regions. So here first we are biasing in the active region, or we can say linear region also. Then the base emitter junction has low resistance. Base emitter junction in the sense we can say base emitter. See, this is your transistor base, this is your base, this is the collector, this is the emitter. So now base emitter means this only. So this base emitter has low resistance, because due to this will be connected in the forward bias. And the base collector, this one, this base collector will have the high resistance due to reverse bias. You should not forget this concept normally. When in BJT, the base emitter will be in forward bias condition. The base collector will be in the reverse bias condition. When you're connecting the forward bias base emitter, it has the low resistance, that is I can say R low. Here I can say the resistance is high resistance. So this we should know. Here now what we are going to do with in this chapter, we are going to show some of the terms, the technical terms we are going to show. In this we separated as like DC quantities, AC quantities, then resistance. What are the DC quantities here in the sense like one is VBE. VBE stands for, you can see here, it is uppercase. VE is uppercase. So VBE stands for the voltage across base and the emitter terminal. Then VCB means the voltage across collector and the base. VCE means the voltage across collector and the emitter. IB means base current. IC means collector current. IE means emitter current. Same the way AC quantities. So what are the AC quantities here? So here instead of uppercase, here we are showing in the lower case VBE. So this all represents the AC quantities, because later when we use this kind of term, we should know whether this is the DC quantities or AC quantities. So DC quantities in the sense we will apply the voltage as DC fixed voltage we'll use like this. But when you go for AC quantities, we'll use a AC quantity source with the length like this. We'll apply. This is the things we'll apply over there. Then about the resistance, the internal resistance will denote with a small r, and the external resistance will relate with the uppercase R. Now let us see the amplifier. An amplifier must have two input and two output. See, this is what, two input and two output terminal, and a transistor used as an amplifier must have one of its three terminal common to both input and output. So example, when you are going for a BJT configuration, some three different types of configurations are there. You might have studied. That is, one is nothing but CB configuration, that is common base configuration. Next is CE configuration, that is common emitter configuration. Then CC configuration, that is common collector configuration. What is the meaning of this? That is, common base means the base is common to emitter and the collector. Common emitter means the emitter terminal is common to base and the collector. Common collector means the collector terminal is common to base and the emitter. This is the meaning of that. That is what here they mentioned. The three terminals are common to both input and the output, which is shown here. See, this is a common. If I consider this is B, that is base, if I consider this is C, then this I'll see as emitter. Then I can say the emitter is common to base and the collector. Then I can say this is the configuration is called as common emitter configuration. Sometimes we may call base emitter configuration. So now here we'll set a see base emitter configuration, the simple diagram. A transistor amplifies the current because the collector current is equal to base current multiplied with the current gains. Because for this basic emitter or common emitter, the relationship previously only we seen what is the relationship actually? IC is equal to, this is already we know, beta into IB. Right, so beta into IB. That is what it is. The amplifies the current because of collector current IC is equal to the base current IB multiplied by the current gain, this beta actually. So now the base current in a transistor is very, very small if compared to the collector and the emitter current. So what I can say simple, that is base current means IB will be very, very small. So just you can write very, very small compared to IC and IE. Very less current only will given into the base terminal. So because of this, the collector current, because of this actually, the collector current that is IC will be approximately is equal to emitter current. Now you see here, this is the configuration we shown here. This is something about which configuration? This is B, correct? This is B actually. This is B terminal. This is E terminal. This is T terminal. So this is the base emitter configuration. We are given the proper bias. We are given, see all the way we connected the resistance. That is RB base resistance. RC is a collector resistance. Then we connected here one capacitor over here to block the voltage. See here, what we did in the sense, an AC voltage that is V in, which is V in here, this only, V source. This is called as V in actually. Okay. The V in is superimposed on the DC bias voltage because this is your DC bias voltage, VBB. Why we given VB in this voltage between, that is what base voltage actually, the voltage across base and the emitter, we have to connect it. So now I can say it's nothing but just it is a forward bias. So only plus, this is minus, plus 2 plus, minus 2 minus. Now VB by connecting them, it's series with base resistance. See, this is connected series with the base resistance. At the same time, along with the superimposed, we connected here one AC voltage source here. See here, VBB. The VBB is here, the dotted line they given DC voltage. Then the VS is nothing but your signal voltage, signal source. I think so, like example I can say that is the example, like example you consider as something called as 5 millivolt. So this is nothing but the amplitude of 5 millivolt AC signal we connected over there. So now once we given over this, this is nothing but the input. There's a point as input here. Now the DC bias voltage, that is VCC. Which one? This one. The DC bias voltage VCC is connected to collector resistance RC collector, which is the VCC is connected to the collector terminal through RC resistance. Now the AC input voltage will produce as the AC base current actually, right? Because of I connected the AC source, so that will give the AC base current it will give. So which results in a much larger AC larger. So very small IB, which will produce here the large amount of collector current will produce here. So the AC collector current produces an AC voltage will be across RC. So that will producing the amplified, but will be inverted. You can see here, this is example, I can say this is example 5 millivolt. Example, okay, this is amplitude of 5 millivolt, but you can see the voltage across collector emitter terminal because this is collector, this is emitter. So now what happened? This is nothing but the same output of VCC. VCC, this line is nothing but what? This dotted line. This dotted line is nothing but VCC line because we connected a VCC here. Here, what happened? What is the relation actually? IC is equal to, right? IC is equal to beta into IB. This is the relation actually. So now you remember your operation amplifier, same like this one given. VC is equal to what? What are the input voltage here we got? That is nothing but the, I'm talking in terms of voltage now. Okay, that is the VC something but collector voltage. So now the collector voltage will be multiplied with the gain factor. You assume as normally the gain will be very, very high. Example, you assume as the gain is equal to 100. That is, it is a voltage gain I'm saying, because beta is nothing but your current gain actually. Voltage gain means AB. Okay, this is in terms of current. If I want to write the same relation in terms of voltage means, how can I write a collector voltage VC is equal to AV. Voltage gain means AV. AV into VB. The base voltage is this. Then AV is 100. I can say the base voltage very, very less. Example 5 millivolt. Then what will be VC? 5 millivolt into 100. That will become as 500. See here, the input is 5 millivolt. The output is 500 millivolt. So what happened? The output voltages get increased. So it is amplified. That is the meaning of that. So the forward biased base emitter junction will presents a very low resistance to the AC signal. The AC base voltage, how we can write in the sense the VB. How we can write VB here in the sense, because of we connected here one source voltage, then the base voltage VB. This is what VB. See here, the voltage across the base and emitter VB, because the emitter is connected to ground, so it is 0. So VBE, example I'll say, example VBE in the sense, it's a voltage potential difference between the base and the emitter, VB minus VE, where the VE is nothing but the emitter is connected to ground, that is 0. Then I can say this is nothing but VB. That is what. So sometimes we can write as VB also, or sometimes we can write as VE also. But here I can say the small case we use VB. So it's a AC quantity. We need to find out the AC base voltage. That is what, see, AC base voltage is VB is equal to, as simple we can say with respect to the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So VB is equal to, what is the voltage across this? Simple, I can say the current of emitter terminal, that is IE into RE dash. The RE dash is the internal resistance. That is the RE dash, internal resistance V. So that is VB is equal to IE into RE dash. Now let us see the AC collector voltage. This is AC base voltage is over. Collector voltage VC. It's equal to AC voltage drop across RC. This is the RC actually. So now simple we can say VC is equal to IC into RC. Now what is the relation between these two, VB and VC? As I said earlier, because of your base current is very, very less, the base current is less than the collector current as well as emitter current. So I can relate these two here, that is VC is, that is the collector voltage, because already as I said, the collector current almost approximately is equal to emitter current. So simple I can say, if the collector's current is same the way, even the voltage also will be approximately is equal to VC equal to VE. So that the VE is nothing but IE into RC. See here, since IE is equal to, IE is here, see, when the collector current is approximately is equivalent to emitter current, then the AC collector voltage will be VC is equal to, replace the IC by IE. That is why written here. Then RC. Now we can see the VB. The VB is nothing but the base voltage. So VB can be considered the transistor AC input voltage. VB is equal to which one? You can see in this figure, this VB. What is the VB here? That VB is nothing but BS, the source voltage, the applied source voltage, this one, this voltage minus, because two voltage sources, VS minus IB into RB. That is the current across this base resistance, IB into RB. That is only nothing but VB here. So now this is the relation. So now we can say, we can find the collector voltage can be considered the transistor AC output voltage. Now from this I can say what is the voltage gain? The voltage gain is will be defined as, see here it's given clearly, the ratio of output voltage to the input voltage. That is nothing but the voltage gain. Here the ratio of output voltage is nothing but collector voltage. The input voltage is nothing but base voltage. The is the AC voltage gain. That is AV is equal to BC by BB. Note here given the current gain is nothing but what is defined as the ratio of the collector current to the emitter current. That is beta actually. That is for current gain. This is voltage gain. Now what you do? Let us substitute all the parameters over here. That is AV is equal to what is VC? Now substitute IERC for VC because already we got for VC is this. Then VB also we are having the term. So both you have to substitute here. VC by VB is equal to IERC by IERE dash. Now the IE terms will get cancelled. This is IE, capital I is it. This is the IE will get cancelled. Then we'll get AV is equal to RC by RE dash. Now from this, what I can summarize in the sense, the voltage gain is purely depend on the ratio of the collector resistance to the internal resistance of emitter. R dash E is the internal resistance actually. The volt provides the amplification in the form of voltage gain, which is the dependent value of RC and the RE dash. These two parameters are very, very important. Now, based on this relation, let us see the numerical, how we have to find. This is the problem is given, same figure only. We need to find out the voltage gain. That is nothing but what? The voltage gain means AB we have to calculate and the AC output voltage. That from this figure, they given the RE dash is equal to 50 ohm. That is the internal resistance they given us 50 ohm they given. Now to find out the voltage gain, we know the formula AV is equal to RC by RE dash. So RC by RE dash, where RC is this, from the figure is given 1 kilo ohm, then RE dash is given 50 ohm, then substitute the voltage gain will get us 20 will get. It's a constant value. Now, therefore, the AC output voltage. What is the AC output voltage now? That is V out, where the V out is equal to output voltage means V out actually. V out is equal to AV into VB. So that is AV is already 20. The VB is nothing but your base voltage. The base voltage is nothing but 100 millivolt. Then you apply, will get as 2 volt, the RMS. So this is a very simple problem. Given sometime you can do like this also. Next, we'll see how the transistor will be act as a switch. Here, this is one of the very major the application area, the switching application. So when the transistor will be act as a switch during the cutoff mode, or I can say completely turned off. When the device is completely turned off, then it will be act as a cutoff mode. Like when used as an electronic switch, the BJT will be normally operated alternately in cutoff and saturation. That is, cutoff means off, saturation means on. So many digital circuits will use the BJT as a switch normally. So we can, with the help of this, we can make so many circuits. We can drive the circuits also. Now, what is the switching operation? As you know, what is the meaning of switch? Switch will have only two modes, like on, off. Normal light switches and all you might have seen. So you can switch on the bulb. I can switch off the bulb. Same even here also. With the help of this, we can switch on and switch off. Now, next here, let us see. Now, let us see this figure here, which is showing the switching operation of ideal transistor. This is the ideal transistor, which is shown here. We connected the proper resistance, that is RC and RB, then equivalent switch here we shown. Next, here we can see in this figure will be illustrates the basic operation of BJT as a switching device. Now, in this condition, so there is ideally the open between the collector and the emitter. You can see this is the switch. This is open actually. It's open between emitter and the collector. Collector, emitter. So indicated by the switch equivalent. See here, this is open. Why it is open? Because of I'm not given any voltage. Input voltage is 0. If the voltage is 0, there will not be any current. IB is equal to 0. Then the switch will be in open condition. So the transistor is in saturation region. See in this here, what happened? The input is 0. We given the transistor is turned off, so it will be in off condition. So I can say it will be in the cutoff mode. Now we can say the input we are giving plus VBB means they are giving the base voltage. That is the biasing we are giving here. Once we give this voltage, normally as you know, automatically what will happen? This base emitter is forward bias. This will be in reverse bias. Base and the collector is reverse bias. So now the transistor is in the saturation region. Now you have to think saturation will be saturation region because of base emitter junction and base collector junctions are forward bias. See now when it will be in saturation region, both are in forward bias. This also as well as this also, both are in forward bias. Then automatically I can say the base current is made large enough to make to cause the collector current to reach its saturation value. When it is done, that ideally that will be a short circuit. We can see this is the short. If it is short in the sense, then I can say it is indicated by switch equivalent. This is off, this is on. So actually we can say there is a small voltage drop across the transistor of up to few tenth, that is 1/10 voltage drop will be there of volt normally occurs, which is in the saturation voltage, that is VCE sat. Normally there will be some amount of voltage drop will be there, right? 1/10 of voltage drop will be there in the saturation normally. So now, like as I said here earlier, the same with the explanation. Like see the cutoff mode and the saturation mode. Cutoff mode in simple, we can say the base emitter junction is a reverse bias. That cutoff mode in this is what you need to make the devices turned up. How we can make the devices turned up? You should make this as reverse bias. You also make to make this reverse bias. It will be in cutoff mode. So the base voltage must be less than the, that is nothing but what base voltage means, BBB will be less than or equal to the emitter voltage, that is VE in case of NPN transistor. In the above circuit, if VBB 0, this is what as I said, this voltage is 0, then there will not be any current flow through the transistor, then automatically IB is equal to 0, as well as IC also will be equal to 0, because of that is base current is 0, then collector current also will be 0. So sometimes I can say in this mathematically I can write if IB is equal to 0 or VPB is equal to 0, IC is equal to 0. Now same the way you can see in the saturation now. You can see in the saturation. So in the saturation actually what we can do same like as I said here in the saturation. When it will be saturated, so simple we can say that should be enough VBB actually. That is your VBB in this one, sir. The base voltage or the base current. It will provide the maximum collector current, that is IC, sir. That is what which will put into the saturation mode. Now from this we can say we'll ignore the VC, which is very small formula for collector saturation current. Collector saturation current means VCE sat they'll call normally. Okay. Now IC sat in the sense collector saturation current. How when you'll get, that is nothing but VCC. That is nothing but VCC. Nothing but what? It is a supply voltage VCC minus VCE divided by RC. So now where VCE is set, this one, it's very small compared to VCC, because VCC is a DC bias voltage which is fixed. So sometimes it can usually it can be neglected, which one the VC can be neglected. If I neglect in the sense the minimum value of base current needed to produce the saturation. So simple we can say the minimum base current will be equal to, will get us the ratio of the IC saturation of current divided by beta DC. Normally IB should be significantly greater than IB minimum to ensure that the transistor is saturated. See here in this figure, we can say here in this figure, this is a simple numerical they given for this transistor where VCE when Vin is equal. What is, we have to find out the VCE, which is this is C, this is E, this is B. Okay, we have to find out this VCE when Vin is equal to 0 volt. What is that? Second is, what is the minimum value of IB is required here? What is the minimum value of IB is required to saturate this transistor if the current gain, that is beta DC means what? It is a current gain, B is 200. Just neglect the VCE. Next, we have to calculate the maximum value of RB. This one, what is the maximum RB when Vin is 5 volt? Some three cases are there. First case we see when Vin is equal to 0. What is VCE? They asked. So the transistor is in cutoff because the input voltage is 0. Then it will act as a open switch. So automatically what will happen? VCE is equal to VCC is equal to 10 volt. VCC is here already given. What is the VCC? 10 volt because the transistor is open switch only. If it is open switch, it will be like this. See, your diagram will come as like this. This is switch. Okay, this is a switch will come like this. This is VCC. The output will be taken from this terminal. So here 0, then is open. So VC is 10 volt in the sense, the same 10 volt I'll get here. That is what VC is equal to VCC 10 volt. Now second, we have to find out VCE SAT. Now for this formula is given already. IC SAT is there is equal to VCC, because what is the formula actually IC SAT? IC SAT is VCC minus VCE SAT by RC. It's previously given. But in the question they given, since VCE is will be neglected, so you can neglect the VCE. So the formula will become as VCC by RC. Then VCC from the figure is 10 volt. Then RC is given as 1 kilo ohm. Then we'll get as 10 milliamps. Then IB minimum we have to calculate. The IB minimum also from this we can say the IC SAT by beta DC. IC SAT is already now we calculated as 10 milliampere divided by beta DC is given in the question as 200, then 50 microampere. So I can say what is the minimum value of IB is required to saturate the transistor. If the beta DC is 200, the minimum value the IB is required 550 microampere is required to make saturate this transistor normally. So this is what from this we can summarize this. So now when the transistor is on, that is VB is equal to 0.7. See, very simple here. VB is approximately 0.7. This is something, nothing but it's a threshold voltage we can say. So to turn on this transistor, we need minimum voltage. The minimum voltage is 0.7 is required across base and the emitter terminal. The voltage across the RB is, that is the base resistance is VRB is equal to input voltage minus VBE. The input voltage is how much? 5 volt. But the VBE is 0.7 volt. It is assumption. 0.7 is assumption because it's not given in the question. So you don't think of from where this 0.7 has come, because this is, we should know as a silicon transistor, the minimum voltage is 0.7 actually VBE. So it is 4.3 volt is first one. So now from this we can calculate the maximum value of RB, that is the base resistance needed to allow minimum IB of 50 micro. How much is required actually? Using the Ohm's law, RB max is equal to VR with respect to Ohm's law, V by I, that is VRB by IB, where VRB is nothing but 4.3 volt divided by IB minimum value is 50 micro 56. So we can say the maximum of RB resistance value is 86 kilo ohm. The minimum of IB is 50 microampere. We need to get the transistor should be in saturation condition. Then you can try for even this numerical also, because this kind of numericals only in examination they will ask. So I insist everyone just to take this numerical as your homework actually, just for next class try out and give me the answer for this. Determine the minimum value of IB required to saturate the transistor, the same figure only you have to take. If beta DC is 125 and VCE SAT is 0.2 volt. So this is nothing but how the BJT will act as a switch.